Hi guys, welcome back to the check-in. Today I'm going to discuss race and insecurities that surround such a thing. Now the good news is, over the next couple of videos, there shouldn't be any noise because I'm not actually in Bangkok. Excuse me. Oh, I do apologise, it's actually pretty late and I haven't slept for like the last 24 hours, so please forgive me for that. But anyway, so I'm here in Laos after trying to get another visa, which hopefully, fingers crossed, is okay. So yeah. So if you can hear any noises, the only things you should be able to hear is probably just the aircon that's on. So I left yesterday, or last night, and from Bangkok, central Bangkok, and arrived here at about about 7:30, 8 o'clock this morning, and I was put in a van with a group of Burmese, a Burmese group, basically. I assume they was all trying to get some kind of a non-beer visa of some sort or whatever. They don't strike me as the teacher's type, but who knows? There's not really much brain cells between them as far as I can tell, but that's just my opinion. One thing I just noticed throughout the trip is that people are very. I found it over here quite often is that people are intimidated by accents, by strong accents, especially strong use or a strong accent or a strong capability of using the English language. It can be a little bit intimidating to people who can speak English but not very well, and this can start to cause problems. And I didn't really speak much to these people, and I just kind of, every now and again, I just said, like, what's going on in the van, because we was waiting around for a long time, and thought maybe they knew why the driver had stopped the van and stuff, and it just kind of like, I found it a lot over here, it's not just with Thais, and I thought it kind of was, but it's dealt with differently. Actually, it's in some ways it's the same, but especially with people that can't speak the language, that Asians that is they tend to be very insecure people anyway. That's just my overall take on it, because of the skin color, especially in Thailand. Skin color is a huge insecurity, and you only have to spend a couple of weeks in Thailand to notice that, especially when you're working at school. Over time, that becomes apparent. And then of course, I'm really so sorry about all this yawning, but I'm really tired. I just thought I'd try to make a couple of videos before I head off to sleep. But then of course it's about status and class and salary, and feeling insecure because they haven't travelled as much, or they haven't done this, or they haven't done that, or they just feel intimidated by your personality, the fact that you come from a completely different part of the world, so you haven't got anything in common. You're not part of their tribe, basically. And that's the kind of feeling I got really sitting in that van, is even though some of them could actually speak some level of English, it wasn't, not that they had to, but it would have been nice for them to kind of engage in conversation every now and again, but Normally with other, like with people from the Philippines, you tend to get a little bit of chit chat, and it just feels less serious, and that's the kind of vibe I got. It's just a bit over the top, and but then again, when you're talking about a group that's predominantly Burmese, and I mean, I don't think the Burmese are particularly known for their language capabilities anyway. I don't like particularly known for much anyway in general, but so yeah, I am slagging them off. They're just, it's just everything is just kind of like an opportunity that I found is just an opportunity to try and ridicule everything you do, everything you say is an opportunity. So ridicule the singled out. Let's single out the guy. He's on his own anyway. There's no other foreigners in the van, so let's single him out and let's do this and that. Or it's just me being insecure, but I don't think it is. I think it is a case of that some of them felt insecure when I started talking to a couple of them. Of course, I didn't really understand probably what I was saying, and so I understand a certain level of it. But it's just like let's not like resort to like hostile, bordering on hostility, and taking getting defensive because you feel insecure about your own culture, your own language, or whatever it is. You just feel intimidated by somebody that's trying to engage with you in some way. I don't know, whatever it is, there's no need for games, there's no need for petty little, playground drama, really. It's just kind of, it is very much a tribal world, in my opinion, still. And I kind of get it now. I understand why people... And this is why, really, in my opinion, multiculturalism doesn't really work out in the long run. It's not really beneficial for society as a whole, I don't think, because if people stick with their own kind, and it just doesn't work. Yes, it works in a sense of, if people can get along and tolerate, but in a sense of, like, connectedness and, like, actually being able to communicate with one another, and kind of being part of something, it's like it doesn't work because people are who they are. Their backgrounds are what they are, and I got that in that van. That they come from a completely different country, a different part of the world, different beliefs, different religion, different ways of thinking about all sorts of different things. Of course, then they've got their own little, language dynamics and understandings between those people. So obviously I wasn't part of it, so maybe there's an element of me being insecure as well as them as well. So whatever, fair enough. But I just found it just very interesting that the thing is, it's very easy over here to lose your cool with people, with these kind of people, because they think they've got some kind of like they've got something on you. They've got something that on you that you don't have you can't use on them, and in some way they do, because it's okay for them to try and mock you and belittle you, embarrass you, ridicule things you do and say, because it's funny, because look, he's the Farang man, he's the foreigner man, he doesn't understand us, so let's say whatever we want because he won't understand us. Let's do whatever we want. We can't do anything because we're strength in numbers and strength in relationships, and because of our shared culture and language and everything, whatever. I don't know. It's just petty, very childish. I would have expected better from adults, but you're dealing with people from a third world country, so it's to be it's to be expected, really. I don't pity them at all. I mean, I hope that they all get their passports revoked, and hope none of them get any. I hope they don't get the visas tomorrow. Or if they do, I hope that they'll get kicked out at some point under some new operation, Outlaw Myanmar, or whatever it is that'll be next. Because a lot of them they're not here working safely, or even in the things that they say they are. And the Philippines aren't particularly better either. Then again, I can't necessarily talk because I've not particularly been a good boy in the past either. So, I don't know, call me a hypocrite, but I just wanted to kind of share that. I just found it. So it just seems to me anything with some Southeast Asian people. It's just, but mostly it's race. It's a race thing. It's a race. Trying to draw you in, trying to. Trying to make you feel insecure, making you feel insecure because they're insecure about their colour of the skin, the fact that they just happen to come from the country that do, even just the fact that their passports are different. There's a lot of jealousy, there's a lot of bitterness, resentment over here, and thank God Thailand's what it is in some ways, and I don't blame Thailand for wanting nothing to do with a lot of these people from the neighbouring countries. I kind of get it now, and fuck them. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say in this video. So yeah, see you later. Bye bye.